What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. We have a team for Victor. Wemby Mania is heading to Texas, but not Houston. He will be a San Antonio Spur. Just finished watching the draft lottery. I was kind of disappointed that no one from lower in the lottery bounced up. That immediately adds like a whole extra level of chaos when someone from like 7 or 8 or higher all of a sudden bounces into the top 4. Everyone loses their mind. We didn't have that. Portland moved up slightly. Pistons fell down slightly. They were probably the biggest losers of this entire thing. But the Spurs grab the number 1 pick. I have their current roster, not their full roster, but what the starting lineup will look like as of right now for the upcoming season via Bobby Marks on Twitter from ESPN threw this together. And not great. They were the worst team in the league last year. Obviously, they were tanking. Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson's obviously probably the sexiest name on here. I really don't know how much value will swing on any of these other guys with Victor going there. It really probably shouldn't, but I am sure there will be a little FOMO on a couple of these guys. I am not playing into that at all. Most of these guys might not even be around by the time Victor reaches his true potential. We'll see what happens. This class in general is loaded up. You have Victor at the top, plus Brandon Miller and Scoot Henderson, plus the Thompson twins, plus a handful of other guys that are on paper seem to be pretty good. I am just glad that Victor, I have no real dog in this race. I'm a Cavs fan, so it really doesn't matter to me. I'm glad that he's going to a, let's say, stable franchise. I really didn't want to see him on Charlotte, and I really didn't want to see him on Houston. From a hobby perspective, Charlotte, LaMelo probably would have got a big bump, but I'm kind of glad he's going to Houston. I didn't want him ending up on some, especially Houston. No offense if you're a Rockets fan, but that team just feels like the inmates are running the asylum. Now Udoka's there now. Maybe it's a little bit of a different story, but I'm glad that he's going to like a more prestigious organization. And this is the most Spurs player ever. Foreign dude, number 1 pick, French guy. I mean, it's just like, it's textbook Spurs player. So we'll see what Pop could do with him. Any plans that he had on retiring, I am sure are getting pushed to the side to come back for another season or 10. We'll see if Victor's as good as everyone says that he is. So, from a card perspective, let's kind of chat about this for a hot minute. Depending on when you're watching this, there is a decent chance that Bowman University is dropping on Wednesday, the day after the lottery, later today, or once again already dropped. It's not 100% sure, but it sounds like it's coming. I'm almost sure it is coming out later today. I'm probably skipping that product. The one that I am intrigued by, and it's specifically because of the way that they are marketing this, a couple different things that they got going on. And that's Bowman University basketball, 2022-2023 Bowman University basketball. And as you can see up here on the screen, they're going with the whole first Bowman aesthetic with this set, both for Victor and a few other players from this upcoming draft are in this set, along with Caitlin Clark from the women's NCAA tournament fame. This is the set that's getting a little bit of juice behind it. There was, Ruben on IG posted this photo with Victor and, one of his first Bowman cards from the set where he put a little inscription on it, first card ever signed. It is comical to see Ruben standing next to Victor. That just looks funny. Ruben looks like a kindergarten kid next to an adult in that photo. But regardless, this set is getting a bunch of heat behind it. Boxes are currently sitting for pre-order. This set comes out the beginning of June at $175 to $200, give or take. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. There's some unknown information here that we just don't have. Rumors have been circulating that Victor is Fanatics exclusive. We do not know that for sure. So, at your own peril with that one. So let's take this a couple different ways. Let's assume that Victor is not Fanatics exclusive and he ends up signing for Panini as well. Let's go down that path first. They won't have product out till probably right at or shortly after the season starts. Typically, it's NBA Hoops or Don Russ is usually one of the first sets out the door. So between now and then, this is what you're going to have. I don't know how much of the stuff that they printed. I have no idea what this card is going to sell for. First Bowman has really not much track record in the basketball and the football world as holding value since it's college jerseys. In this case, it's a European professional league team. But it's all we're going to have for a few months and potentially even into the beginning of the season, depending on Panini's release schedule. If this is all we have, and let's say Panini's delayed a month, this product could get hot if he comes out of the gates hot. It might not even matter. There is going to be so much hype around this dude. It's going to make Zion look like he never existed. You thought the hype meter with him was bad. We haven't seen nothing yet. So then let's say, he gets Panini releases. Maybe it waters down the autograph prices for these. And this is all we're a lot of assumptions here with how he plays. But it could potentially undercut this as more and more stuff comes to market and he's not in his professional jersey. First Bowman basketball and football is not first Bowman baseball. At least I don't feel that it's that way quite yet. Maybe it gets there one day. Now, is there short-term opportunities before real product comes out? Yeah, there potentially could be. So that's path one, that Panini has him locked up and can do autographs with him. There's potential there for this card, this set, under that scenario. Now, let's go the other direction. He's signed to a Fanatics exclusive deal. Now we're in a whole different bag of cats. One, for Panini's perspective, that means they're not going to have the most hyped guy ever's autographed in product. Now, for a lot of sets, that matters, but it doesn't matter. Like Prism, Optics, Select, you're chasing parallels there as much as you are sticker autos. Because remember, that's all sticker auto product. Not that big of a deal. Would it suck? Yes. Would it take a little shine off? Maybe. It might not even matter. Now, on the high end, different story. That would be a sucker punch to Flawless, NT, Immaculate, any of the super high-end sets would just be gutted without this in there. The other thing that it would do is it would play into this product's hands, because if we're not getting legitimate autos from him in professional uniforms, in my mind, his first Bowman auto, would become the one that everyone is chasing. He would have no true rookie auto. He would have this as like a pre-rookie auto, and that's really about it. Now, don't get me wrong. If Fanatics has him to a deal, they'll shove him in all sorts of random product, but he won't be in a Spurs jersey. At least we don't think he will be, unless something wild happens between now and the season actually starting. Now I think we might be off to the races with Bowman University Chrome basketball. Once again, pure speculation. We don't know. Maybe we have more information by the time Bowman U drops at the beginning of June. How am I personally going to approach this? For sub $200 a box, I'll take a gamble and grab a couple boxes. You spend $400, grab 2 hobby boxes. I won't rip them. I will not rip them. And see what happens. Stash them on the shelf. Maybe they go to 150. Maybe they go to 300. Maybe they go to 400. Who knows? But that's going to be my general approach with this. Now, if we get news between now and then that he is Fanatics exclusive, that would change things in regards to how I would approach this product. So pay attention to that. I don't know that we'll get the news. I could see Fanatics wanting to lock him up to an exclusive deal. But I feel like if that was the case, they would have announced it already. I feel like you would want that PR that he is a Fanatics exclusive autograph. And this seems like the time that you'd want to drop it, unless they're going to save it till right before this product drops. You know, maybe the Inception product that comes out today, they're going to let it do its thing. And right before Bowman University drops, a couple days before, you drop the press release, hey, Victor, Fanatics exclusive, and now this product goes potentially crazy. I don't have a crystal ball, just a guy in a basement with a above average microphone and an internet connection. But that's how I'm going to approach it. I will probably just grab a couple boxes because I've spent $200 on dumber stuff in my life and see what happens. But it is something to pay attention to. Now, obviously, if we get official news, I will 100% be doing a video on that. But that's where we sit. Thoughts on Victor? And the other thing I'm curious about for your thoughts on is, do you think that, and this is a topic probably for a completely separate video, assuming they continue this tradition of first Bowman University football, basketball, do we think there's ever a time that the first Bowman basketball and football get on the same level as first Bowman for baseball? I personally don't think so. Could the market for it get better over time? Sure. I don't think it ever gets to the baseball level of things. I just think there's something different with the whole prospect thing. With most of those guys, you got to remember, you get their first Bowman auto, they're in the minors for years sometimes. Sometimes guys get fast-tracked. Whereas with this, you know, you're getting the first Bowman auto, and then like 6 months later, you're getting the real release of the player. Now, with NIL deals, maybe this shifts a little bit. You know, you start getting quarterbacks, which they do this already now. You start getting quarterbacks in as their freshmen. So they have 3 years at Ohio State, Alabama, wherever, that you could potentially chase their stuff. Maybe that stuff over time gets a little bit more respect, or you just have more wiggle room to potentially flip it. If hot new quarterback prospect is going to Alabama and you get his first Bowman auto in year one, and he goes on to have 2 or 3 really good years and is now going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, maybe that card does mature over time until his real product comes out. You have a longer ramp there. In the past, it was always this stuff comes out and then like 2 months later, it's getting immediately replaced by real product. I don't know what the future holds for this. I'm just curious for your thoughts and opinions down below. That's all I got for you guys and girls. Congrats, San Antonio. Do well with him, I hope. I hope he lives up to at least a small potential of the hype. He would be an amazing player. But the heat behind this guy is going to be unreal. And don't sleep on the rest of this draft class. Don't sleep on the rest of this draft class. It's also going to be interesting to see, you know, are we back to the days of Prism getting wiped out in retail? I doubt it. Panini is probably going to print this stuff to the moon. They're leaving anyway. They are going to they're going to milk this for every penny that they freaking can. So it'll be curious to see how they handle that as well. That's all I got. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.